Thank you for joining us again here at the 2023 Dawson County News Fall Media Day with our presenting sponsor, Elite Heating and Air, as well as our other sponsors, Ruby's Recipes, John Meagle Chevrolet Ford, and Lanier Goods. I'm joined here now by the softball team with Coach Rickett, as well as Micah Burruss and Aislynn Cochran. So I'll start out with a opening statement from Coach Rickett about how the summer has gone and what you look forward to with the season coming up soon.
All right, well, we're super excited about this season. Last year didn't exactly end the way we wanted it to. We struggled for a big part of the year, but then we figured it out and we got really close to making the playoffs, which every year is the goal is to make the playoffs. This group is fun to watch, and this group, when we work on stuff and do stuff, I can see the progression and see how much further along we are. We're still young, but we're older than we were, which is a good thing. This summer's been tough. I feel like everybody's busier this summer than it has been, so it's been really hard to get everybody there at the same time to really see what we got. But we've seen enough of everybody at different times that we feel pretty good about what we've got going in. We just got to, just like always, we got to stay healthy and be able to weather the storm. These next 2-3 weeks, even month, is a super difficult time. You know, they're just, the kids and us and everybody's going through a huge transition every time we go back to school. The weather's very hot. It's a hard time to get in the groove of things, and you know, us softball coaches, we always say if we can just get to Labor Day and get that little break, then we'll really know what we got. And I think that's got to be the goal for us, is what do we have in September and October, because that's what's really important. But I think we're going to be fine, and everybody, the kids, this group has played so much ball this spring and summer. Everybody's in shape. Everybody's ready to go. It's going to be getting back in the groove of going to school every day, and just dealing with the heat and dealing with the elements and the typical things that come with a new school year.
And you do have a lot of returning players, many of which were not seniors. So what are some of the things you look forward to seeing in terms of that continued improvement from these two as well as some of the other players on the team?
Well, I think it's just the progression. You know, my favorite part of being a coach is seeing where a kid gets to, not where they started. It's important to see where they started, but it's where they get to. And it's the progression of things and being able to handle changes and handle the adversity. You know, I use the example, we saw Micah the other day. They hit a little pop-up, and our dugout's funny the way the net comes out. And 2 years ago, I don't know that she makes that play. But the other day, because she's grown and matured, she ran right to it. There was never a doubt in my mind that she was going to catch it, and it's those kind of things that are encouraging. When I'm standing out there and we're going over something new or something that doesn't happen very often, the quickness in which this group gets it is much better than it was last year. We kind of been talking, we trying to remind them it's not about the mistakes we make. We're going to make mistakes. It's being able to learn from those mistakes and not make the same mistakes over and over again. I told them a little funny story. They're going to get a kick out of this. We're going to kind of rally around keeping our forks. So if you're going and you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and you finish your meal, you know, you need to keep your fork because you still got dessert to come. So the best is yet to come, and that's what we're going to kind of rally around this year, is that no matter where we start, the best is still yet to come. We've got to stay hungry. We've got to keep working, and it's all about how we are on that last day, not the first day.
Micah, we'll start with you on the player side of things. You can hold it if you'd like, whichever, whatever you're more comfortable with. So one of the big, I guess, things about softball, whether it's high school, college, or club, is the camaraderie between the players and the dugout, the chants and things like that. What are some of the things you look forward to, whether it's keeping on that camaraderie or growing closer as a team in a season where you guys have a chance to really, fight for a playoff spot?
I think that this year we're very pulled together as a team, and I think we all we bond very well, being young and having a bunch of younger kids come up, and we've bonded very well this summer with it, and we've gelled together a lot. So I think it's very important that you have a good team bond with everybody. So. Well,
what are some things that you've experienced on individually in terms of improvements from last season or things that you've learned that can help you become an even better player next year?
Probably that no matter what's happening in the game, you need to build each other up. And whether or not somebody makes a mistake and it costs a run, you can't sit on that mistake. You have to move forward and focus on what's next to come instead of focusing on the past.
All right, Aislynn, we'll go to you. You and Micah and a couple others are really going to bring good bats to the team this year. The offense is going to have a chance to really get some momentum going. So what's, I guess, a message that you have to the team about, what the team can do to be the best version of itself?
I think that as long as, what she was saying, as long as we build each other up and we know we can do it, I think. It's just we all have to work together and be together, I guess you could say. Yeah.
And what are some things that you look forward to? I know that with the weather, it's very difficult to play and sustain because it's so hot, but what are some of the things you look forward to, as the season goes on?
I look forward to having a good school ball and with me in the outfield and all of the outfielders just to get along and have a good time.
Coach, as you mentioned, last year you saw the potential at the tail end of the season, some closer games. What do you think will make the difference in getting to that level this year, whether it's in the beginning or the middle, and especially in the end? But what do you think it will take to get to that point again where you're going to have close games and have a real chance to make that playoff run?
Well, and this was something, as they were answering their questions, something I thought about that I should have said in my opening statement. But we have two really good seniors, and these two are included in that. This is a unique group, and I don't know that I've ever been in this situation where we've got two juniors and two seniors. That's it. But that's good because we're going to kind of treat this like we've got two seniors and then they've got two helpers. But our seniors have done a really, really good job, and it's unfortunate they're out of town this week. Layne's playing ball, and Alyssa's getting a last-minute vacation in. So, but they do such a good job, and especially Layne, just because she's been so involved the past 4 years. She had a start the other day where she kind of got in trouble early. The things didn't go well. She gave up 2 runs quick, and really – not because she made a mistake, simply because the other team executed really well and they were good players. But she got in a situation where she'd already given up 2 runs and there's a runner on third with nobody out and probably their best 2 hitters coming up next, and she strikes out the side to get us out of the inning and keep it right there at 2-0. So that leadership side of things is super important and something that, as much as we can be excited about the youth, those 2 seniors and the ones that have been there, you kind of go with how your seniors are to some extent, because they've got the experience, and I try to tell them that they may not realize how much the other girls look up to them, but they do, just because it's that way with all of us. We all look to where people have been there before, and we want to be there as well. So I think that for us to get to where we need to go, we need those 2 seniors to stay with us and stay present. It's real easy for a senior to start looking at May and playing in college. But I really feel like with this group, it's got a chance to be special because I feel like everybody's here for a similar purpose. We may not be as big a team in numbers as we have been in the past, but I really like the attitudes and the work ethic that we get from everybody we've got.
Micah, back to you. So what are some things that you've learned from those 2 seniors, and how's that made you, into a better player or a person?
I think I've learned a lot about leadership skills there, from Layne and Alyssa. They've just been really good leaders, and it's been easy to get help from them or look up, and I know they're always there if I need them, and it makes me want to strive to be that way in my senior year and have everybody look up to me and be that leadership for everybody else.
And is that something that you also enjoy, go on the other side of the coin, helping the younger players especially because there's only 4 of the junior and senior classes. Is that something that you feel like you've become comfortable doing?
I think I've become comfortable helping out, like at first base when somebody needs help with something or they have to ask me a question. I feel like I've made it where they can feel comfortable enough to come to me and ask the question and not feel like uncomfortable about it.
And Aislynn, back to you. I gotta remember that. So what are some of the things you enjoy the most about being part of this program and how it's, growing and getting better and making strides? What are some things you just enjoy?
Well, I enjoy having my best friend next to me, and I have grown very close to Layne and Alyssa. It'll be very sad when they leave, but I've learned that school ball is it's a big family basically. You spend all summer with them, and it's just, yeah. I can't. Yeah. Yep. I can't.
It's okay. I guess just kind of going off that a little bit. I mean, both of you, I'm sure, are active in the summer and in the club stuff. But now that you've grown in those friendships with those seniors and with each other, of course. I mean, what does it mean to you to be able to keep that bond together for a whole season and maybe have that chance to have that goal to make the playoffs?
I hope that we can all come together and help the younger girls and keep us all together to where we don't fall when we come to state or playoffs, and that we're always there for each other, and that the girls can look up to us and tell us if something's wrong or anything like that. Yeah.
All right. Coach Rickett, we'll kind of wrap it up with you. So, you mentioned like what you want the team or how you want the team to approach the season, and like with your fork analogy is kind of a big part of that. But I guess, as the season goes along and you get into region and the pressure starts building up, what do you want your players to know, or how do you want them to approach those difficult moments in a way that can help you guys maybe make a playoff run?
Well, one thing, and people don't talk about it in softball enough, but the routine matters. And one thing that I try to teach them and show them is that every day we need to be the same way. I think sometimes we get into those big moments and we think there needs to be a big pregame speech, or we need to dress up a certain way or do something to get us excited. To me, it's doing things the same way that we always do them. A couple years ago we made the little playoff run, and early in my career when something like that had happened, I probably would have tried to get a charter bus or try to make it something special. But with that group, we did the same thing we always did. We got on the activity buses, we split up and we rode and we did what we were supposed to do. And with this group, I think that's super important. And I try to tell them, we're Dawson County, and things may be tougher for everybody else, but they're not too tough for us. And we've got to stay in that routine and do what we're supposed to do, because that's how we should approach life. And at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to learn from sports is how to be better humans and how to be better citizens in our communities. And we need to show up to work every day, be prepared to do our job, and that's what we try to do. And we do some special things along the line. We got to still have fun, but I think it's that routine, that consistency, that understanding what we are, and I think it's having pride in Dawson County and what this softball program has always been, and we've got to continue to be that way and build upon that.
All right, and I'd like to kind of close it with either of the players. If you all have any closing statements you all want to make about goals that you have, either individually or collectively for the team. I mean, I'd like to hear just a little feedback of what you kind of want to see or what you look forward to, if you have anything. If not, that's okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I would like to see us build more than we already have as a team, and I'd like to see us go somewhere this year and have fun like we have in the past while going forward. And Coach Rickett and his Facebook mom post, it's really going to keep us together.
All righty. Well, thank you all so much. Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
excited. I'm ready for this part to get here. We were supposed to have stuff yesterday and I think today too, but you know, everybody comes back Monday, so we're all back together Monday, so we'll roll from there and go forward. But it starts quick. I think we play the scrimmage Wednesday, and then we play next Saturday. We play. There's 3 games here. We play South Forsyth and Sonoraville, so we'll get right into it and see what we got.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been the softball team, the Dawson County High School varsity softball team, Dawson County News Fall Media Day. Thank you so much.